Okay, selecting a character. There are 3 to choose from. Once you select a character, the only way to select another character, well, like the only 2 ways to select a second character is through the game. You can progress and you can do research, which is basically like fill out crafting stuff to unlock a secondary character to play as. The only other way is to actually delete your game. Is if you go into, let me see if I can't get into here, but I'll put a link in the description because I do have a video showing how to do this. If you select one of these 3 people and you play along and you're like, oh, I want to try someone else, you have to go into options and account and then delete the actual like game account, and you have to enter the First Descendant. It's cap specific. It's very tedious. They really want to make sure that this is really what you want to do. There's no way you can delete your character on accident in this game because you have to type in the Descendant and capitalize it and all this stuff. Like, it's very specific. So if you really want to delete your character, check the description because there'll be a link on how to do that in there. Else you can unlock another character as you advance in the game. So that's the other way to do it. I have currently played as Viessa, so I have a little bit of more information on her skills, but we'll also go over Lepic and Ajax a little bit. And I'll show all their numbers, so if you're watching this to sort of get an idea of who you want, this will show you everything that they can do.
Seems like my kind of job. Wouldn't it be easier if I just froze everything?
So she does a lot of chill skills. All of her stuff is based in like ice and freezing and ice shards and stuff like that. These are her starting defense and shield and magic and health points and all that sort of stuff. But she has frost shards, which fires frost shards to deal damage to hit enemies and burst damage to nearby enemies, and it inflicts ice shackle on enemies that are hit. And then she has Frost Road, where you can activate the Frost Road state. And while in that state, while you run, it creates ice sheets behind you. So if like you activate it and you run through a group of enemies, enemies that touch that ice sheet are inflicted with Ice Shackle. Then she has Cold Snap, which launches Chill towards the front. Inflicts damage and Ice Shackle on enemies that come in contact with the Chill. And Blizzard. She creates a blizzard at a designated location. Enemies within Blizzard take continuous damage. When the blizzard ends, it explodes and then deals burst damage to nearby enemies and inflicts Ice Shackle on hit. Now, all 3 of them have 4 active skills, and they are on PlayStation, used with L1 and then the corresponding button, X, triangle, square, circle, that kind of thing. And then her passive skill is Ice Sphere. Upon using a skill to put an enemy into an Ice Shackle stage, it creates an ice sphere that flies around nearby. So whilst you're in combat with her, eventually you'll see these, spheres floating around like her head. If you're near an enemy, those will go and attack the enemy, but that's what they're talking about, these things that hang out near her. The hit enemy is inflicted with Ice Shackle, and it decreases the speed and increases the stage, which the effect stacks. So that is kind of an overview on Viessa. And so here's Lepic. He likes grenades.
I just need to blow up everybody except Bunny, right?
So here's his starting information, his def and max shield and magic and health points and stuff like that. And then he has fire grenades. It's just a throw grenade kind of thing. He likes grenades. Overclock, it inflicts burn on enemies damaged by grenades or overkill, and burn deals continuous damage for a period of time. Traction grenade, which it kind of grabs, if you throw it into a group of enemies, it'll suction them all up together in the air and then kind of inflicts toad on enemies within range, but it's kind of like a huge burst of kind of stuff. And so then Overkill, this equips a unique weapon. While the unique weapon is equipped, magic is continuously consumed, and that's going to be the blue bar on your screen. When MP runs out, that weapon is unequipped. Enemies hit by the unique weapon bullets take burst damage, and the impact point creates a damage zone, dealing continuous area of effect damage. And then his passive skill is upon receiving fatal damage, he kind of gains this close call, While he's in close call, you're kind of granted damage immunity and emotional immobilization. When it ends, you recover the HP proportional to whatever your maximum HP is at the time. And again, these are his numbers. I think I sat on him in the very beginning, but just in case I didn't. And so that's him. So then we have Ajax.
Leave it to me. Defense is my forte.
Here are his starting numbers. He's a tanker who utilizes void energy. Coordinate his team with a force field that protects allies while deflecting enemy attacks. His active skill is Orbit Barrier. He creates a barrier in front that blocks damage, and while that barrier is hit by enemies on the other side, reflection damage happens on the enemy on the other side. When you're using an enhanced skill, it enhances the reflection damage. The max reflection damage rate is based on your defense followed by skill power. So when you create a barrier, enemies on the other side that are shooting at you can actually get damaged due to the reflection damage skill sort of like that he has, which is nice. And then a Void Walk. You can jump forward and deal damage upon landing. It's an area of effect attack. It's kind of nice on groups. And it inflicts stun. When using an enhanced skill, it grants the leap enhancement effect. Expulsion deals damage to nearby enemies and inflicts knockback. When using an enhanced skill, it increases base damage and range. This one also is an area of effect attack. And then Hypercube. This creates a dome-shaped barrier that blocks damage. And when using an enhanced skill, it grants the barrier enhancement effect to allies. His passive skill is an event horizon. When the skill ends, it gains void energy. The amount of void energy determines the singularity event, which is this one right here. That's a Void Walk. It has the same icon. You can see it determines the Void Walk singularity effect. When void energy is at a max and you use an enhanced skill. When void energy is at a max, use an enhanced skill. While using the enhanced skill grants additional effects to the existing skill. You cannot gain void energy while using an enhanced skill, and void energy is consumed when you're out of combat. So this is when you select the three you want. This is not selectable. This is Bunny. This is who you're going with. This is who you're going to go play with. So remember, whichever one you select, the only way to create a new character is to either A, fully delete your game data, which is done through options and the account area. You can actually delete your game data. Or you can unlock another character as you advance in the game. So that's how you do that.